Hey everyone, welcome back to Conquering Algebra 2, Lesson 28. Two concepts in this one. The later concept we're going to talk about is rationalizing our denominator when we have a root in our denominator and how do we get rid of it. But the first part is going to be complex fractions and how to work with that. So we have a over b divided by c over d. And something that we have to remember with this is that this middle fraction bar is saying we need to divide these two. So another way of looking at this could be a over b divided by c over d. And me personally, I think that this way of looking at it is way less intimidating. Just a reminder, whenever we are dividing fractions, we can't leave it as is. We have to go a over b, turn this into a multiplication sign, and then we flip the fraction, the second fraction. So our answer would be AD over BC. Now, I want to show you a shortcut so you don't have to do this every single time. And the shortcut is multiply your outside times your outside and your inside times your inside. And so your outsides are going to be your numerator and the insides are going to be your denominator. Way faster, so much easier. And so let's get some more practice and see how we can make that happen. Okay, so our next example is a over b divided by x plus y over b. So we're going to multiply our outsides and we will get ab, and then we're going to multiply our insides and we'll get b times x plus y. Another great way about doing it this way is it also helps us see if there is something that we need to cancel out. In this case, we have a b in our numerator and our denominator, so those can cancel out, and all that's left is a over x plus y, and I'm done. That's my answer. Okay, one more example, and then we'll move on to our next concept. So a over a plus b divided by c over a plus b. So again, we're going to multiply our outside terms, a times a plus b over, multiply our inside terms, c times a plus b. All right, and when we do that, we can see that the a plus b's cancel out, and we are just left with a over c. So we're done. Okay, so with the second part of this lesson, it's going to be dealing with when we have a root inside our denominator, and there's a problem with that because we can't have irrational numbers in our denominator. So we have to get rid of this in order for our answer to be considered simplified and finished and all that stuff. So what we're trying to get rid of is square root 7. So whatever I'm trying to get rid of, that's what I need to multiply my fraction by. But I can't just multiply it by square root 7. It has to be a variation of 1. So I have to multiply it by square root 7 over square root 7. So the 2 square roots of 7, this will become just 7, because this would end up being the square root of 49, which equals to 7. And then 4 times square root 7 would just be that. So this is my answer simplified and all of that other stuff. So let's do some more practice. Okay, so in this example, the only thing that I'm trying to get rid of is the square root 5. The 2 is fine. We can always have 2 in our denominator, but I can't have a root in my denominator. So we're going to multiply by square root 5 over the square root of 5. So this would end up becoming a denominator of 10 because we have 2 times the square root of 25, and this would become 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. And then for our numerator, we have 3 square root 5. And these two cannot reduce, so we're done. We just leave it like that, 3 square root 5 over 10. Okay, so what I see in this next example right away is that the square root of 12 is not a simplified radical. I can simplify that now, or I can simplify it at the end. It doesn't matter. It won't change my answer. I'll still get the same thing. So it doesn't matter when you do that. I'm going to go ahead and do it now so it's done. So this is going to be 3 times, and then this square root simplified will be 2 root 3. So this whole fraction should actually be 2 over 6 root 3. So the part that I'm trying to get rid of is square root 3. Okay, and so this will become 6 times 3. So 18 over 2 square root 3. One last step, always when dealing with fractions, we have to see, is there any way that we can reduce? And 1 and 18 both can reduce. So this would just become 3 over 9 because these are both divisible by 2. So this is my answer, and we're done. All right, and that's it for lesson 28, talking about working with complex fractions and multiplying the outside times the outside and the inside times the inside, and then also rationalizing the denominator whenever we have a root there. So be sure to subscribe so you can get updates as we post new videos. If this video was helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear some feedback and help you guys out however I can. And to my Algebra 2 students, I'll see you in class.